What's up, everybody? Frank Will here. Welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing absolutely fantastic today. First of all, sorry for the voice, still going. And I've been missing some of these great new sharings that Incredibly Average is doing on his channel. By the way, if you're not subscribed to Incredibly Average, subscribe, hit the bell. He's growing really nicely. I subscribed to him, I think, when he was below 80,000 or something like that. So it's really nice to see him grow also because he's the reason why I got so involved in the first place in this trial when I saw all this truth coming out through his videos. So great job of detective. So this is part of the 2016 deposition. And it's very interesting. I've shared some of it, not completely, because you can watch the whole thing here on Incredibly Average. But I also want to react to some of the parts which I haven't watched yet together. So let's witness together. To my understanding, this is the time where she accused him of swaying the wine bottle around in the apartment there. So this is fresh off these all traumatic events that she went through. So keep that in mind as well when you see her mannerism, which I think is very important. Anyway, guys, let's watch this together. Let's go.
This marks the beginning of media number 3 in the video deposition of Amber Depp. The time is approximately 3:18 p.m. We're back on the record.
Thank you. So, Ms. Heard, we were just leaving off at when Johnny arrived, having sent him a text prior to his arrival, indicating, "Hey, baby, bring up something to drink and/or a joint. I'm in if you are." When Mr. Depp arrived, did he in fact have a?
Oh man, I've never seen such a smug face in my entire life. Honestly, I'm not a lawyer, whatever. I'm more like of an empath. I suppose somebody that observes people. I don't have any qualification, just out of, my own perception of things. But oh boy, when I see this person, there is nothing coming off of this human being in this moment that tells sympathy, empathy, compassion. She's annoyed. She just doesn't want to be there. She has this kind of like, look at those eyes. Oh my God, look at those eyes.
Joint, to your knowledge?
Nice.
I believe so,
Okay.
but I can't be 100% certain. I guess I shouldn't guess, huh?
Don't guess.
Do you have any recollection as you sit here what happened to the joint, if he in fact had it?
No, nothing specific.
Did he
just these days he's, I don't know if I can remember a single time when he didn't have a joint in his hand when he walked in a room. I mean, I'm saying about 99% of the time.
So anything in regard always of JD being abusing drugs and other stuff, she remembers everything. Like I always saw him, I'm sure, but keep in mind the rest.
But you have no specific memory that he had a joint with him when he arrived on April 21, 2016. Is that correct?
Can't be 100% certain.
And did he have a bottle of wine in his arms or hands?
I'm not quite sure.
Okay. And this text you sent him prior to his arrival, the "Hey baby," we'll refer to it as the "Hey baby" text, you say that you no longer have this text because your phone was destroyed, correct?
It was destroyed that night when he threw it out of the window and it smashed, and it was never recovered.
Okay. And you said you threw his.
Actually, I don't remember if this is a lie right here, because if that's the event, is this the event where actually one of the security working for JD found the phone downstairs that was in the hand of an homeless man, and they also gave some money to this person, so they retrieved the phone?
Phone out, but you immediately retrieved it. Is that true?
His phone was protected significantly. And after he threw mine out of the window, I threw his out of the window immediately after. And his was immediately recovered. It was recovered that night because
Okay.
I tracked it. We used Find My iPhone.
How quickly was it recovered, Ms. Hurd?
Probably within a matter of hours, max. I'd say a matter of hours.
Okay. Isn't it true, Ms. Hurd, that someone in fact stole Mr. Depp's phone from where they found it?
I'm not sure how it wound up, where it wound up, but we did track my iPhone and we could see it move, and was eventually, I tracked it down to a liquor store and asked his security guards to go and get it from this liquor store. And from what I understand, they confronted someone that was at the liquor store with his card.
Okay. And as for your phone that you say was smashed,
Never recovered.
okay, how do you know it was smashed?
Because it was thrown out of a 14th floor window.
Okay, but you never saw it smashed, is that true?
That's true.
Okay. And after that fact, you couldn't recover any of the text messages on your phone, correct?
Man, that's so beautifully convenient, huh? That's so beautifully convenient that my phone wasn't retrieved, it's smashed, I never seen it, but I know that I couldn't retrieve anything from it, therefore no pictures.
Exactly.
Okay.
Nothing that was localized to that device and had not been backed up.
Okay. And that would be for any text messages.
Actually, she gave some hint there, like that hadn't been backed up. So that means that did use the cloud. So most likely all of her staff was on the cloud too. Ah,
From April 21 through what date that you were
when
unable to recover?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's right. From April 21 prior to what date were you unable to recover text?
The date of the last successful backup.
And what was that?
I don't know.
Okay.
My computer, I back it up onto a computer. I sync my phone to my computer, but my computer had run out of space. And so for many months, I was unable to back up my phone.
Okay.
I had no device to which I could back it up.
In relation to these proceedings,
that sounds such a big lie, honestly, like those people that, oh my God, where do you start? Like, literally they have like account on clouds, or they can buy a bigger computer with more like SSDs and so on and so forth, or more storage.
Ms. Hurd, have you at any time made any attempt to determine what texts, in fact, sent or received prior to April 21 were recoverable?
I am not sure I understand what you are asking.
Have you made any efforts relating to these proceedings to determine prior to April 21, 2016, which of your texts sent or received on that device are recoverable?
It's vague and ambiguous. She doesn't have the device, never found it.
Everything that was localized onto that device was lost.
Okay.
Look at the way she says, like also with contempt. Everything that was on that device was lost. Like there is mockery in this behavior. Also in the way she raises her eyebrow, like, huh? Also a little bit of a challenge. Did you get that? Huh? You dummy. Huh? Was lost. Did I make myself clear? It was lost.
And that is text
So
lost
smart,
from April 21, any text sent or received prior to that date, correct?
Wait, it assumes facts not in evidence, and it calls for speculation. And vague and ambiguous is to the word any.
Ms. Hurd, did you undertake any efforts relating to this case to determine for that device whether you could locate and identify any texts you sent or received that were still available prior to the date of April 21 and relating to these matters?
No, nothing. You cannot anything localized to this device was lost because it would have been localized to that device. Anything that was up until the latest backup.
Okay.
So when my computer ran out of capacity to save a phone backup, I was no longer able to save the information on that phone.
Also very interesting the way she tries also to come across sometimes like as vulnerable, like she plays her thing. I mean, narcissists are very good at trying to charm the other person. I like that the lawyer here is not buying into any of it, none. She keeps her cool, like absolutely see through her BS, and I puts her off because she keeps changing tactics in mannerism.
When did your computer run out of
I
capacity?
don't know the exact date. Probably a few months before that. So I lost months of information.
Okay. Did you lose 1 month?
I'm sure it was over a month.
Did you lose 2 months?
I don't know when my computer started running out of space.
Okay. And related to these proceedings, did you make any attempt to find out when it ran out of space?
No.
And did you make any attempt to locate texts prior to April 21?
Yes.
What did you do?
I looked and saw when was the last successful back. I looked into old backups, mostly to see when I got a new cell phone, what would be the most recent backup onto that phone. So I was curious as to how dated, how old my information that was going to be put onto my new phone was going to be. I ended up having a very hard time getting a new phone established because no one on Johnny's side would give me any of our cell plan info, and I didn't know I had been added to the family plan, so I had no ability to, when I finally got that information, I had no ability.
Oh my God, this sounds so convoluted and like most likely if you had it to the plan, like it really takes nothing. Oh,
To activate a new phone, and so I had to get a new phone and start over from scratch.
And when you say nobody from Johnny's side would give me that cell phone info, could you tell me specifically what you attempted to do? And
I tried to activate a new phone, and I tried to do it through the carrier, AT&T, I believe it is.
Okay.
Because when you get a new phone from Apple or wherever, and forgive me, I'm not so tech savvy, but
oh my God, the extras she puts in just to try to come across as likable. Oh man, I should have been a lawyer.
think you have to activate a phone. You have to provide some reference to your account. I didn't even know what name the account was under.
Okay. And in those efforts to determine what you said you had curiosity about, what did you determine was the last backup that was made?
What did I have curiosity? Sorry, what did you say I had curiosity about?
You said you undertook efforts because you had curiosity as to that you wanted to determine when the last backup had been
how
made.
old?
Yes. What did you determine?
I think I don't remember exactly, but I think it was that I didn't have a backup that was recent enough to make it worth putting on my cell phone. It was better to start over, as opposed to resetting. I'm sorry, I don't know how these things really work. I'm doing the best I can to answer your questions.
Okay, and did you make any efforts at any time relating to these proceedings to determine if you had text messages in April of 2016 prior to the 21st in any way relating to these matters?
Can you be more specific so I understand what you're asking me?
Did you ever at any time look for texts between April 1st and April 21 relating to these matters?
Between April 1st and
I mean, honestly, I'm not a doctor, a specialist, psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever, but I will find it really hard. Like, you look at this person and you go like, there is something wrong here. either she's on medication of some kind. There is something going on here. No people behaves like this. It's a very strange way of emote, expressing, and convey whatever simpler emotion through her looking and moving the shoulder and the face and everything and changing tone in her voice. I mean, it's really uncanny how, like, you can feel it that there is something that is unsettling, you know?
April 21 really matters. So for the entire month of April?
Correct. Except for 1 week. Between April 1 and April 21.
I'm so sorry. I'm not quite sure I understand. Are you asking me if I specifically made any efforts to look for text messages that were lost prior to him throwing the phone out of the window?
I'm asking you if you have made any efforts to look for text messages that still exist so that you could produce them here.
Everything that was prior to April 21st has been lost that was localized on that phone.
And when you say localized on that phone, what do you mean, Ms. Hurd?
I mean on that phone and unable to be saved anywhere else because of lack of being able to back it up onto my computer, to sync it.
The phone you were using April 21, was it the same phone you were using on April 1?
It might have been. I broke a phone previously. I don't know when the phone prior to that was broken. I've gone through a lot of phones. I have very bad luck with breaking cell phones.
So it's very interesting, like that she says then, like that she goes through the process of um, using phones a lot, you know. So most likely she knows how to very quickly get a new phone. And of course, I'm gonna skip this part because I don't want, take away from Brian here. I'm just gonna show a little bit more. We're not gonna go through the whole thing, but I'm so curious myself to see this. I've never seen this whole thing in its entirety. Actually, I'm skipping also myself, so I don't know. Be interesting to see other bits before. Probably will do that, but let's continue with this human being here.
21, the same phone you had on March 1.
April 21 my phone. I don't know. I don't know if I'd smashed a phone in that month honestly, I couldn't tell you.
I don't know if I smashed a phone, because that's what I do. I smash phones.
Did you, in fact, produce in response to a subpoena ducis tecum text messages from March 12, 2013 here today?
Did I bring them?
Yes, did you produce them? Not whether you brought them, did you give them over to be produced today?
Well, again, if you're talking about handing things to attorneys, we've established that we're asserting the privilege on that.
Will you answer my question, Ms.
If
Miller?
the question is if it's in the stack that we gave you, you'll have to show us the stack.
Yeah, please show me I can tell you if it is.
Okay, we had asked you to review the documents produced during the lunch hour. Did anyone?
She said she had lunch.
No. Let me just say, the lunch hour, which was actually 50 minutes, was a chance for her to take a break. Looking through 2 inches of evidence of her being abused is not exactly a break. So she wasn't inclined to use her break time for that purpose. So if you would like to give her a stack to look at, she's happy to.
Oh, poor thing, eh? Her lunch break was taken away from her instead of actually perhaps working to allow the truth to come forward more quickly. That would have been a good way to spend some time for a good cause, right? Huh? Huh?
Do so and answer your question.
2 more questions related to these texts. Ms. Hurd, showing you what will be marked as Respondents M.
Everything.
Did you ever provide this text from March 12, 2013 to be produced in these proceedings?
And if you had exchanges with counsel, we've established that that's privileged, and we would instruct you not to answer on that basis. If you gave it to some non-attorney, then that's different.
I didn't give it to any non-attorney. I gave it to you guys.
Don't discuss it.
Do you understand the privilege?
Not really, but
Okay, I'm gonna move to.
Oh man, oh man, where do you go? Like, it's so. At least I react to it because I see the BS in the behavior. How immediately she goes like from like absolutely emotionless to damsel in distress. I don't know. I don't know what privileges means.
Strike that answer, claw back. Let's take a short break. I want to advise her of how privilege works.
That's fine. I would,
The
yeah.
time
Well, I'm
is
not gonna go do
approximately
legal research. I'm gonna
3:32
take 3 minutes.
PM, and we're going off the record.
All right. So let's skip a little bit further here. Just gonna instruct her what it means. You cannot share. You don't have to share information that you share with your lawyer.
Did you bring with you today all of your computer devices?
No.
Okay. Did you bring with you today your any and all cell phones that you had on April 21 or May 21 of this year?
No, I did not.
Did you bring any cell phones that you had at any time in 2016 here today?
No.
Did you bring any laptop computers that you had at any time in 2016 here today?
I don't think so.
Did you bring any smartphones with you here today that you had during 2016?
No.
Is that no?
No. Not that I'm aware of.
Did you bring here with you today any electronic devices of any kind that were used by you or owned by you or accessible by you to communicate with any other person by voice message, email, or text message? Did you bring any of those with you here today? Okay. I'd like to just state for the record that Ms. Hurd, through her attorneys, was served on June 24 and again on June 20th with deposition notices and subpoena duces tecum, specifically requesting the items in Section P just articulated. No objection, Ms. Hurd, for the record, was made to you producing these items by your counsel, so I just want you to know that objection has been waived.
That's incorrect. An objection was mailed to Ms. Wasser's office. I can get you the exact date.
I never received any.
No question
It's
for
a
you.
job that I have.
Wait for a question to be.
I served an objection.
No, the current version.
I don't know what that means.
So there were objections that were made, written objections that were made, yes. Excuse me, I have been summoned out of the room. I'll return.
You'll have to write.
So it's not correct.
Okay. Ms. Hurd, just to make clear for the record, your counsel's position here relating to your production of these items I've identified is that anything produced in response to any deposition subpoena.
And who behaves like that? Who behaves like that? Basically, what they're saying is that even her counsel wasn't opposed to her bringing some of this stuff. You heard another woman saying there were some objections. We don't know which one they are. But let's finish this. It seems that they asked for all of this, which she had in her possession, but she didn't bring it, out of her own will. I wonder why. If we had mountains and mountains like of evidence that could have ended this case already in 2016. You didn't bring it. I wonder. My analytical mind is wondering, and I'm even touching my goatee here, is still wondering why. Why such a simple action was not carried out.
In this case is privileged. Are you aware of that?
Wait, Nick, don't answer. Privileged.
Oh man, this has never been truer.
Referring you specifically to Exhibit H. You still have that?
H, you said?
Yes, H. It's identified as a deposition notice.
Looking to be directed by our counsel. What? Double Isaiah. Parking. Pretty sure it was a parking.
For the served on June 24th and July 20, no objection was posed by your counsel, correct?
I like how she's just going through, not paying total attention. Like she has some kind of way of behaving that even probably herself doesn't see that she's giving off certain vibes and giving herself away in a way, you know? Like, do you understand that she's totally not paying attention? She's just waiting for the lawyer to basically say something to her.
Have you had a chance to look at those documents?
What's the question?
Have you had a chance to look at those documents?
Which documents?
Marked as Exhibit H.
I have not read this yet.
Okay. Do you need time to look at them?
Would you like me to read it?
I just want to make sure you have it and it's what I say it is, so that you don't worry that there's any trick.
Take your time and review the document.
Okay. And I'm just, but to make sure of what it is, or do you want me to actually read it?
Read the document. We're still on the record?
We can go off the record briefly.
I don't want to go off the record. If you
Okay.
wanted to read it,
Did you just ask if we were still on the record?
I just was wondering, and he said yes.
Freaks, more freaks, blah, 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 blah. You know, somebody that really is at heart sharing the truth because you were the real victim here in this whole circumstance. Anything that you can have on your laptop that probably can incriminate your Z, you know, to share the truth of this monster who really is, you know. You had basically plenty of chances to do so. So you have always had, of course now we know she lost, you know, we don't need this anymore, but it's fascinating in the context of the moment to see that actually things were allowed to them, you know, to come forward and present everything that they wanted to present, right? Now with the appeal today, 2022, you hear them say their counsel, new evidence will be presented, new evidence
May the
will be
record
presented.
reflect that the petitioner is
Why not
consulting
then?
with her counsel.
Then. You gotta ask yourself, right? Like, you know, it's fascinating to see these are rebel because you really
Right on this?
see how much manipulation there
For the
is,
record
you
of
know?
Mr. Harder, we will likely not finish today and have to come back.
You're going to finish today.
So,
We're
if she
done.
wants to
We're
read
done
it-
today. Fine, you go ahead and say what you want, but we're done today.
Well, if we don't get
If-
7 hours,
If we,
You're getting it.
we'll see.
may I finish? We will likely not be finished today, so if you'd like the opportunity to read this document at home while we're on intermission, I'd be happy to have you do that and it can come back to that. Would you
And our-
like to do that?
No, our response is, we're going to be done today. I don't care if it's midnight that we finish, but you get 7 hours and it's going to be done today and no one's coming back.
So we have a court order.
She's happy, and also remember that this woman said, I have ways to instruct people around me, the way they have to touch me, the way they have to behave with me, because of the incredible things that I went through that Johnny subjected me to. Remember that. Remember that this woman, like, she has post-traumatic stress disorder. She cannot even be in a room with other people. Like, even when they come in, they sort of have to walk in a certain way, behave in a certain way, talk in a certain way, touch her in a certain way, because trauma. And look how fresh this trauma should be right here in 2016. These traumas should be so fresh that she probably should have had already like 15 panic attacks being in these sittings under this much pressure from lawyers. Matter of fact, let's just hug each other.
Okay.
Come on. It's not even my opinion. You know what I mean? I'm just like,
Let the record reflect that
I'm almost making out.
petitioner and her attorney, Mr. Harder, are whispering and conversing. Did you have an opportunity to review Exhibit H?
She's only on page 3. There
Why
are
don't
more
I,
pages.
why don't I point you to page 2, I'm sorry, page 10, paragraph P. Do you see that?
She hasn't gotten there yet.
Can you go to paragraph P of page 10?
Matter of fact, they tried everything to obstruct the search for the truth. They had all the time in the world to present the mountain of evidence that they had, as she claimed she had so many times still to this day. Even after the trial is over, she lost, and now they're running for an appeal. They're trying for an appeal, and they're still claiming new evidence will be presented. You know, it's not. We learned that it's not possible to present new evidence in a case that it's been closed so far. In as far as like verdict goes, now they have to go through the appeal, but you cannot present new evidence. I'm like literally there is like evidence of these people obstructing themselves. You know, like putting themselves in the position of actually not sharing as much as they could have. They really think we're stupid. They really think we're this fool. We have to be grateful that this stuff is out there, you know?
Do you see,
So
Ms.
that
Hurd,
people can
paragraph
defend
P?
themselves.
She's
Or
not there
other
yet.
people
She's trying to
feel like
familiarize
this.
herself with the document.
Well, she should have done that before she came today.
Well,
Well,
she's doing it now.
It's okay. Maybe it's a privilege because it was sent to her attorney.
Take your time with this document. Make sure you're comfortable with what this document is, okay?
Okay, I'll move on. Ms. Hurd,
I haven't seen this ever.
Don't say anything. Just let her ask a question.
I need this.
I like how Blair is just like we'll just move on because it's clearly a time wasting tactic.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Time wasting tactic just to get into the 7 hours, and then they don't have to talk anymore. Like again, Brian is going immediately also probably where I was, that they had all the time to actually make this straight, but they have nothing to go by. That's the that's the end of this whole thing. They had nothing because they had to create stuff. Wow.
In your declaration that you filed in support of your request for a restraining order, did you say, do you have it there so that you can refer to it?
That's what this is, right? It's Exhibit K.
Exhibit K. Did you say did you claim in paragraph 7 that after my guests had left, Johnny and I had a discussion about his absence from my birthday celebration, which deteriorated into a bad argument that started with Johnny throwing a magnum-sized bottle of champagne at the wall and a wine glass on me and the floor, both which shattered. Johnny then grabbed me by the shoulders and pushed me onto the bed, blocking the bedroom door. He then grabbed me by the hair and violently shoved me to the floor.
Well, we know this part right here, so I'm gonna stop it right here. Also, my camera went off, unfortunately, so I apologize for that. I hope we have enough footage of me also reacting to this. Um, what a piece of information right here, honestly. Really, really valuable stuff to teach people out there to be aware of narcissists and other people with personality disorders. Of course, not all of them are dangerous to other. Um, that's obvious, and but it's very important to see this type of uh, people, like whether with narcissistic traits or narcissistic sociopath traits, the fact they can have another human being, sisters, brothers, partners, parents, and so on and so forth, friends. So absolutely revealing. Guys, let me know your thoughts on this. Please subscribe to both Incredibly Average, Brian and me. I really appreciate the support. I also appreciate Brian for sharing this new stuff, which is absolutely fantastic in the way of learning, learning more and more and see also how it stacks against the truth today. So, guys, thank you so much. I'll talk to you later. Ciao.